extremely important. I think that the majority here in the United States don't understand that feeling of being the only person that looks like you in the room all the time. It is a relief. It is a sense of familiarity that just makes you more comfortable when you're working.
Diverse representation in the workplace, from my experience, is important because you tend to get a little bit less of the not appropriate for work type conversations based upon the number of people who's in the crowd. The less minorities of different groups that you have in a room, the more kind of hostile the work environment can become at times. And as far as seeing diversity in leadership, it's when you look at that, it gives you the impression that there's not so strong of a glass ceiling that you have a chance to.
Every company that I've been at, I personally have looked for others that look like me. We often look for representation, whether it's by race or gender. We look for people that can relate to the experience that we may have or been going through. It is also a relief or a reward to see someone that has had a career success and that can mentor, coach, and provide guidance to others for navigating those work politics that are not necessarily stated out loud, but is that elephant in the room.
When I look at it from a corporate standpoint, when I look at it from a leadership standpoint, it's important to have diversity in companies because it's important that they seek to have a diverse leadership, a diverse board of directors. And really what that means is diversity opens up the door to different cultural experiences, different religious experiences, different demographics. So ultimately, that's going to drive innovation. That's going to drive and create an empathy-led organization that can have its impact across the board. And also having and recognizing the cultural influences that are today. And what I mean by that is when we look at just the landscape of who's buying the product, and when I'm talking about the end user, not just the products and the services, but the actual end user of who's consuming what we're selling today. You know, you have to have that empathy-led approach to it. And I think that's going to be extremely critical when we talk about diversity from a leadership perspective.
Diverse representation is very important. I read something somewhere that said, you can't be what you can't see. And women of color in leadership positions throughout the company demonstrate the opportunity of growth on levels that you may not have thought of. It's very inspiring to see people like you in leadership positions because it makes your goals feel attainable. You say to yourself, I can be her one day, no matter what she is, even the vice president of the United States.
Diversity representation at all levels of the organization is critically important. And for example, I think it helps drive open and candid conversations with people that have very different vantage points, which it helps to boost employee engagement. It drives creativity and ultimately innovation. I think it helps to enable the organization to understand and build better employee and customer relationships. During my 12 years here at Nuance, I have been fortunate enough to build some phenomenal relationships across the company and at all levels, right? Folks that are the doers in the field working with customers, as well as with our senior executive team. And that's both domestically and internationally. And I think having a diverse background has allowed me to do that.